Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome to your daily update on XRP. First of all, I want to wish you all a great weekend. It's a little bit of a quiet week in the markets, of course, with Thanksgiving on Thursday. Yesterday, half a trading day, although yesterday was quite volatile, not specifically for XRP. I mean, if you look at XRP right here, it's been incredibly stable. Basically, since Monday, nothing really has happened, which is a good thing. That means that we're creating some sort of time and space right here above the critical support levels, which if I would have to go very broad, I would say the general critical support level on the higher time frames is 2.1 and $2, right? Which is quite clear. If you go to the higher time frames, we also have some lower time frames indicators there, such as the 7-day rolling VWAP. But that's the level, right? That's the level that we want to hold. And as long as we're holding that and the more time we actually get above that, I would say that's positive. So that's a good sign. XRP itself has also done relatively well fundamentally over the course of the last week. We've had some nice XRP spot ETF inflows. They're sitting comfortably right now at around 20 million for the last couple of days, even yesterday, right? And yesterday was half a trading day. The US market closed, I think, halfway in or a little bit longer. What is it, like 2/3? Who cares? But right now we've seen 666 cumulative total net inflows in dollars. That's great to see. I haven't checked up on ROUSD, but for those of you who watched my XRP videos at the start of the week, you knew that ROUSD, the stable coin that Ripple released 11 months ago or something, almost a year ago, is doing very good. I mean, right now you can see that stable coins are ultimately still growing. PayPal USD is actually growing quite a lot as well, which is interesting. I think that there's some interesting yield opportunities on that actually. But stablecoin industry in general is growing. But if we take a look at coins that specifically are growing, it's Ripple, it's ROUSD, right? It's Ripple stablecoin that's the fastest grower in the top 22. Like then you get Agora dollar, which has grown a little bit more, but in terms of market cap, that is much less significant than ROUSD. So bullish about the fundamentals, bullish about the technicals. We've been a little bit, stable over the course of the last week. And there's still that question of those imbalances to the downside. What I've kept talking about over the course of the last week is that, okay, I'm bullish on XRP. I think I've established that. I think on the higher time frames, you almost have to be. Like the only way I think XRP is going to make lower lows is if we get some very bad news, which obviously you should always take that into account whenever making investing and trading decisions, right? So that you should always account for the worst that can happen, which the worst that can happen is obviously major geopolitical stress without diving into specifics. But even then, even if that would happen, I mean, I would not necessarily think that we're going to drop down into the next support level at 1.75 and 1.65. Under the current conditions, I wouldn't expect that either. We've seen a nice structure break right here by breaking above this level right here at 2.14. But like I said, I mean, I might be a little bit stubborn, and I do want to stress talking about what I expect specifically for XRP, right? Because generally I'm bullish. I think we're going to rally up higher. I think the first major test is going to be right here between 2.41 and 2.5. And then from there, if we get a very significant reaction there, okay, then technically I might have to argue that we're going to make lower lows. But for now, that's too early. It's just, regarding the specifics, it's always hard to say whether we are going to see a pullback, yes or no. If you look at the specifics for XRP right here, what you can see is that we have formed nice balance here between 2.17 and 2.23. We have failed to break out yesterday, which was expected, by the way. And we have those imbalances right here at 2.12 and 2.11. And I choose to expect that we're going to fill those imbalances. We also have those imbalances right here at $2. I don't think we're going to fill those. I've said that quite often as well, but no, I think it's we have some intraday support level at 2.12 as well. I think we are going to see a pullback first, right? So a pullback into that area. We'll find support there. Maybe we'll spike down all the way to 2.04, and then from there we'll see a continuation into 2.41, into 2.4, and then when the price is actually nearing that area towards 2.35, 2.4, we can spike up higher, like we also did, for example, right here, the 12th of November. That depends on volume. So keep your eyes on volume. If the volume is very high, That means that the move is a little bit less efficient usually, or at least that's usually what you would expect with that. And an inefficient candle can spike up quite a bit, which ultimately is going to mean a little bit of pain afterwards, by the way. But that's for later. For now, that is what I think you need to know. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments, of course. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.